that Tony Fernandez is now he's coming into this field. He's not coming into, but he's sharing his experience through training. And I used to say this, I used to oddly, I used to say this in my TTT classes. What if Tony Fernandez were to teach how to do business? Would you attend? They'll say, yeah. It's become a reality. It's funny, right? Some things you say can become real. So in today's lesson, I'm going to share with you what it takes to be a great trainer. Okay. Next thing is what is called the ARC model. Those of you who came from my TT, you may vaguely remember this ARC. I'm going to share with all of you what it is and how to open and close with impact. A lot of things here, which I'll be sharing with you, are based on my experience and my research. You cannot find any of these things or most of these things, the ARC model, like opening, closing methods in, give me a second. Let me just turn off my WhatsApp. Otherwise, it'll be very, very irritating. Okay. Yeah. Done. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, now, okay, right. I can't see my slides. Wait a minute. Okay, now I get. So how to get great? What is that? What makes a trainer great? Or what makes your training great? I don't know if you recognize this guy, the fella standing there, the white shirt. Have you seen him somewhere?
No.
No, you've not seen. Okay, never mind. It's okay, no problem. It's not somebody you probably know. But anyway, that's my training in Singapore. I told you I've trained in quite a lot. These are all parents, and I'm talking to them about how the mind works and how they can help their kids to get better grades in school. So my question to you is, you need to ask yourself, why would anybody come and listen to you? Why? The first thing to remember is that it is not about you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not how good you are, how great you are. It's about them. It's about what you can do for them. I think Calvin mentioned just now that, it's what you can help the people to achieve. If you have this as the underlying factor in everything you teach, you know what happens? You never go wrong. You're never going to fail. You're always on track. The thing is, sometimes when we become so focused on ourselves, that how good am I, am I great? It is not that. So we're going to look at what I mean by the audience. The audience should feel, what is the last word, anyone?
Captivated.
And not captive. Your audience should not feel like, oh my God, I'm stuck here. I wish I am somewhere else. I wish I'm on a beach, or I wish I'm doing something, watching a movie rather than sitting here and struggling. That's not it. If we can help your audience, every member of your audience will feel captivated and say, my God. My question to you now is, how can you make your audience captivated? Let's hear some opinions from you in the chat. How can you make your audience feel captivated? Let's try. Come on, go. Anybody? Okay, we need to learn from you. Chok, you say that? Okay, stories. Yes, Kamala, of course. Humor, arouse their interest, have interesting content, have related stories, have humor, share life experience, asking them questions, hook their interest. Through own experience and struggles, you have something they need. Yes, absolutely. AFA, that I like that. Share relevant personal experiences, inspire the audience, provide a knowledge audience looking for, clear the objective training or talk, think. What's in it for them? Okay. One is, what's in it for me? WIFM. You know something, Malini, you said you really hit it on the head, because I always say this, people walk around with an FM station, which is called the WIIFM. You know what's that FM station? Which is called What's in It for Me. It's an FM station. People always tune in. People are looking around. They have like an aerial on their head. Yeah, facts tell, stories sell. Wow, that's shut you all, huh? Yeah, I like that. Engaging, using, relating concepts, depending on the topic. Struggles resonate to the audience and give them the solution. Yes, I like that. You put it in capital letters, solution, because that is what matters. A strong opening. SP Fong, yes, absolutely. A strong opening is very, very essential. But if you have a fantastic opening, but then you screw up, as you go along, you can still lose them. But I'm not saying today, in fact, we're talking about opening. So opening is definitely very, very important. Give them relevant value, solution, or something that have not taught, perhaps empowerment. Okay. Yeah, something unique. See, you must bring a new perspective if you can. Something that will wow them and say, huh, I didn't think of it this way. Oh my God. That's all you need to do. Be real, human, not fake. Yes, of course. Hey, you know what? Guys, you guys already got all the answers here. Yeah, I don't have to give it to you. Michael, you see all the answers are here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you read the comments?
Yes, I have been reading.
Okay. Now, moving on, let me share what I want to share with you here. A trainer's job. Do you think that we are here to give people information? Yes. Partly. Information that is interesting, okay? But you know what? If you want to combine information and inspiration, the real thing that we want to give them is what is called transformation. Would you agree? What transformation you want to give them? Transformation in their results, transformation in the way they do things, transformation they feel, and the way they act. Because when you act, that's when the results come. So remember this, we are here to provide transformation, but the transformation can only happen if you combine information and inspiration. Inspiration comes through what you shared just now. Some of you said inspirational stories, personal relevant experiences, making them to think, challenging them, giving them something that wows them, and showing them the possibilities. That's inspiration. So remember, inspiration alone is not enough. Information alone is not enough. But when you combine information plus inspiration, the thing is, some people come and ask me, but Jaya, I teach a technical subject, Excel. Or like Kelvin says, I teach Microsoft how to make, hello, how to have inspiration. I just teach you, to give you the facts and you could do hello. Isn't it? It would seem that way, right? But you think you can transform people just by giving them the information? You think so? It's very simple. Let me give you a very simple way to give inspiration. Just tell them, when I started like you, I really sucked in this. I was so terrible. I couldn't even do this, And today, my results show, not because I'm brilliant, not because God gave me certain talents that, the other people in the world don't have, but let me show you the journey that I had to come to reach where I am today. And I'm here to share that journey and that possibility with you. Now, when you speak like this, you are giving people the inspiration. You got it? So it can be a technical subject. Like when I teach speed reading, I teach people using stories. I mean, speed reading is a very technical subject. Technical, not in IT, but still, it's very technique based. So you may say, what, Jay, you tell stories? I say, yeah. And I have so many people in my audience can say, I loved your stories and make me relate to what you're teaching. So what are the characteristics? Let's look at some of the characteristics, ladies and gentlemen, of great trainers. Okay, before we go further, does anybody want to try and give their own opinion about what are characteristics of great trainers? I have a few here, and give me your opinion on this. Tell me if you agree for either of this. Do you agree a great trainer engages minds? But how do you engage people's minds? If you agree, put a yes. Okay. I see a lot of yes there. Okay. You see that. How do you engage people's minds? Engaging people's minds you can be doing it in many, many ways. One, if someone just now said that be human, right? Do you know that there's something called the KLT? You know the KLT. Remember we said yesterday in the first day we talked about how trainers are like salespeople. You want to sell people the idea. You want to sell people a new concept. Show them how their lives can be improved with your service or your goods. But before somebody buys from you, you have to have what is a KLT. KLT stands for, what do you think the K stands for? Anybody try and guess what is the K? K. If you want to sell me something,
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
no, it's no. I have to know you first. You won't buy from a stranger, would you? I'm not talking about a pen or some things like simple things. I'm talking about when you buy an expensive item. I think you would not buy from a total stranger, somebody whom you know. No doesn't mean that you have to know the guy for years. You could have known him through a referral. You could have known the person by reading about him on social media or on LinkedIn. You got to know that person. You got what I'm saying? You got to know their background, And then L stands for what? I can know you, but I may not. Tak suka lah.
Love.
No, not like to only to love all, okay.
Like.
Okay, like the person. And then language, no. It's no, like, and the last T stands for what? If you don't have this, forget it.
Trust.
Absolutely. So remember this, ladies and gentlemen, like a salesperson needs to have know, like, and trust. I call it the KLT factor. You also have to make your audience to know you. Very simple. Just introduce who you are, your background, where you come from, a little bit about, maybe you can tell a little bit about your family, but not too much. It's all done in the right proportion. Yesterday somebody was training and I got feedback that person, I won't tell you the name, but was talking so much about himself until the audience felt fed up. Don't do that. Some people, I heard one trainer went and did, we start at 9 o'clock, right? Most training. Until tea break, which is 10:30, he was talking about his accomplishments and what he did, where he come from. People go like, that's not what I mean, but you're not trying to have a relationship with them. Just give them a brief introduction. People know you. And then make them like you and trust you, okay? Next one is, do you believe that we have to make people to think? Yes or no? Do you agree? Show me a hand if you agree that you have to make people think. Yeah. Why do we have to make, more important, why do we have to make people to think? Why not you just give them the answers lah? This is how you do. Look at step 1, like this, step 2, step 3, step 3. Go lah. Okay, ready, can go. What's wrong with that? Hey, hello, people come to you for answers, or give them the answers lah. We want them to imagine through thinking, okay? Oh, I like someone say, but yes, but not too heavily. Okay, something interesting and fun way. If they think they will remember the answer, yes, absolutely. Thinking stimulates, wait, my good friends, thinking stimulates learning. Oh, that set me aside. The translation is more real when they figure it out. Understanding works better. Empathy and patience. Oh, Sumitra, you're here. Okay. Better retainment. Absolutely. See, you know what the guy by the name of George Bernard Shaw or G.B. Shaw, one of the writers, poets from the Irishman, right? Irish poet. He said this: 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, and 95% would rather die than think. You see, remember this, huh? Listen to this very carefully. He said 2% of people think, 3% think they think, and 95% would rather die than think. And he's talking about the general population. People don't like to think. Would you agree with that? I'm not talking about thinking whether to have roti canai or nasi lemak for breakfast. Not that kind of thinking, no. I'm talking about serious thinking where you think about your life, what you're doing, if you self-correct and you keep doing things differently. Next one, you listen to questions. Do you think it's important for us to pay attention when the audience is asking a question? But let me tell you how to go to the next level. Sometimes people don't ask you the questions. Can I say that? Malaysians, you think, okay, you say, one guy told me, but Jaya, every time I train, I answer any questions, nobody say anything. I say, hello. We are Malaysians. We are not the orang putih. The white men all very talkative, somewhat. Even in India, when I was in India, I was training in what's the name of the company? Yeah, I can't remember the name. IT company. So not that company in Bangalore. They were totally different from Malaysians, Maybe because they are all educated, not say all not educated, but they were IT guys, So they think differently, all and they're top management. When I was talking about creative thinking, they keep challenging me. Jaya, why you say this? How can I be like this? What not? So and I love that. But when I do this to a general Malaysian public, we generally ask any questions. Understand? Sure. I know they didn't get it. Then I question them, they can't answer. I know they didn't get it. So the point is that, how to question is like, you observe the body language. You got it? Sometimes just by being observant as a trainer, you know why I say this training profession is challenging? It's not just about imparting information, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we have to be observant. Looking at your audience. Let's say I look at Kani and she's looking and she's like this. I know she's bored. Or if I'm explaining something and she's rolling her eyes, I know she didn't get it. Or she's giving a blank look. Have you seen that kind of look? People look at you like this. But they're not paying attention. So these are the things that you look for. That's why I listen to the questions on their mind, not just what they say. Do you encourage risk? Should we ask them to take risks? Good or bad? Risk is no good, man. Really? You know why we ask them to take risk or not? Why? Only when you take risks, you can learn and grow. Would you agree? Do you believe that growth only happens outside your comfort zone? Believe or not? Can you be in your comfort zone and still grow? You know the answer. You can't. And also, same thing, similar to that, but you also support them. Don't, of course, let them struggle and just, okay, give you a question, you cannot do it. They really will struggle. Don't like that. Don't be a sadist. Okay, you support them. You are like by there, like like a mother who's getting a child to walk. You know what the mother will do? Like encourage the child to walk, but she's there to hold the hand in case he stumbles. Yes or no? So that's how we train. And lastly, I want to say that we cultivate dreams. Lastly, there's one more to go. Cultivate dreams. People come in, they are sometimes doubtful about themselves. Can I do it? I would love to reach this. Hey, you say you can do it. I did it, so can you. Let me show you some of my participants or past people whom I've coached who have been able to reach what you want to go, where you want to be. And I'm here to guide you. And lastly, this is what a great trainer does. They continuously learn. So those of you, I know many of you are very senior trainers here. You're attending this class yesterday and today. Hopefully you can also join us tomorrow. But this is one thing that I admire as a great principle and a great quality in the great trainers. You know what it is? The willingness to learn. You see, I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you would like to do all these things? Can I see a show of hands? Right. Which you think you are not doing at the moment? If you don't answer me, answer yourself. So next time when you are in front of an audience, ask yourself if I am doing any of these or all of this. If you are doing all of this, I can tell you that you are on your way to become outstanding. Is this making sense to all of you, ladies and gentlemen? Is this making sense? Yes or no? Did you like this? Do you like this, what you have got? Let me ask Kamala. Kamala says yes. Kamala is one of my very, very, very long time friend. And Kamala, how do you find this?
Amazing. Like all of this is so on spot.
Okay. Okay. Right. Next thing I want to share with you is this. There are 4 types of trainers. As I share these 4 types, I want you to think where you fall into and think also about the trainers you've met in your life and see where they belong. There are 4 quadrants. Okay, before I go into these quadrants, I want to share with you what these axes mean. This is Y, this is X, right? My math is still okay. Okay. The Y-axis represents steak. Now, why steak? Let me tell you this. Has any of you been to an expensive restaurant before? I'm sure you all have. Yes? What is the most expensive restaurant you've been to? Jayshree, can I ask you, have you been to any expensive restaurant?
Yes.
How much was the meal there? One meal, one person.
I think it's roughly about 50 to 60 ringgits above.
Okay, that's considered quite expensive, yes. Anyone been to something that's even more expensive than that?
400 for 4 packs.
It's about 100 ringgit per pax, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's considered quite expensive, but of course you and I know, many of you know, there are some places they charge 800 ringgit per pax.
Waldorf Astoria in New York, a steak will cost you $100 US.
Okay, okay, right. Even in Malaysia, Kelvin, I ask you, have you heard of places where they charge you like 500, 600, 700, 800 ringgit? My friends told me I haven't gone yet, okay, but got right. Have you been to any of those?
No,
No, okay,
didn't.
that makes sense, huh?
I
Okay,
guess they must have a reason to be so expensive, though.
correct. Yes, yes. But you see, the point I want to make is that if you go to such a restaurant, okay, don't talk about 800 ringgit, like even for 100 ringgit or 200 ringgit per person per head of dinner, for example, when you walk out of the restaurant, if you feel satisfied, there are only 2 reasons. What would the 2 reasons be? Number 1 would be the
Quality of the food. Taste of the food.
quality and taste. Okay, how clean it is. And what is the other thing? Is it only the food?
The service.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to use the word steak to represent the quality of the food, and I'm going to use sizzle to represent the service. Can I do that? Right? Steak, I use steak because those of you who take steak, we don't eat steak. I don't eat steak, but just to let you know, some steak is very expensive. They got what is called a T-bone steak and a Wagyu steak. You heard of those? Right? And so these are the things that people look for, and they don't mind paying the amount. But let's say you go to a restaurant, the food is very, very nice. It's superb, but the service sucks. Would you go to that shop again? You wouldn't. What is the other way around? The service is fantastic. Yes, sir. Please, sir, we have a reserved place for you, sir. We have nice music playing in the background. The carpet is beautiful. The furniture is first class. But the food, you feel like vomiting. Would you go again? I doubt it. So just like these 2 things matter, what do you think I mean by steak for a trainer? Give me a second. I think somebody's calling me. Michael, can you just carry on for a minute?
Yes. What we're going to do here is he's talking about what is steak. Well, for what we have found out, including Jay's idea, steak is that content. Do you give them the content they need? So if your content is high quality, you're going to be the same as a high quality steak. they're going to be very, very satisfied with what they're getting. And sometimes when we're giving them content, we don't give them good content. And when that would be that rough, tall steak, the one you chew and 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 you can't get through it, or they take part of it out because it's grizzled and have to sit at the side. That's not good content. That's not good steak. So with steak, we're talking about the content. And if your content is really strong, you're going to be able to be desired. But there's a second half of this. The second half of that is sizzle. The way you deliver, if your body language, your vocal variety, your mannerism, the words you use in your descriptions, if those things are not pleasing, if those people do not feel that they're really getting what they've come for, not only the steak, but also the sizzle, they won't be back, just as Jay was describing. So that's what we're talking about here. You got to have the content and you got to have the service, which is the presentation, and all the other things that go with that. They're the supporting elements. They don't go to the store, they don't go to a restaurant, and the restaurant doesn't have a big marquee that says, "We have great service." You don't ever see that. You go to the restaurant and they say, "We have great steak." So you're going to go in, and what are you expecting? You're expecting a good steak and you're expecting great service. That's what you think you're going to get. If you get both, you're going to go back if you can afford it. But if one or the other is missing, you probably won't go back. Mr. J, back to you, sir.
Absolutely, my friend. He put it so well. I could have done a better job than him. Now, let me share this with you. As Michael well said, he said a steak represents the content and the sizzle represents the process or the delivery of the content. Well, now I got four kinds of trainers here. I want to let's look at the first quadrant here. You know what the first quadrant represents, ladies and gentlemen? These are people who have fantastic content. That means they have researched the subject, they have put in their own thoughts into it, they come up with something so amazing. Just like the food is so, but the minute they open their mouths to speak, you say, "Oh my God." Because you know why? They are PPRs. You know what's a PPR? Who knows what's a PPR? Anybody, if you remember what's a PPR? They're the PowerPoint readers. Not Project Perumahan Rendah. Okay. PPRs are the PowerPoint readers. Have you met PowerPoint readers? They stand there with a pointer and all they do is they show the back to you, worst of all. And they're just reading their PowerPoint as if they just ignore you totally. But the content is amazing. You ask them any question, they can answer for you. They are the professors of the world. I call these people the droner. You know why? Not droner. Droner means they can put you to sleep. That you probably know the one drone, but there's another English word for drone, which is to put to sleep. They are like the sleeping pills. Anybody met people like this? Huh? Oh, okay. Where did you meet them? You know where you usually find them? In a place called the university.
Professors.
Yeah, I'm not against. Once I said this, I got into trouble. And somebody who's a professor in my audience said, "How dare you say that?" I say, "Well, sir, I'm not talking about you, sir. I'm saying some." But unfortunately, there are some trainers who also behave that way. Okay. Then there's another category of people whom are very good in engaging you. They have a lot of games. they have a lot of fun activities. They make you jump up and down. They make you sing. They can make you cry. You go through the whole range of emotions and you come out feeling like, "Oh my God, this is what I really wanted in my life." But then you say, "Hey, but they didn't teach me how to do it, no?" You know what I'm saying? That's category 4, where the delivery is amazing, but the content sucks. That means the content is very basic kind of content. Have you seen anything like this? You sit down there and thinking, "Alamak, I know all this. What for this was talking this?" But of course, you don't feel, you know why? Because you're so energetic. Oh, the way they tell you jokes, and you like, all right. Oh my God, it's like, then you walk out. But I don't know how to do it. That's also bad. But you want to know one which is worse than these two? You want to know one which is worse? You want to know? Which category do you think it is? Category number tiga. Okay, Kelvin will say tiga. Absolutely. I call these people the disappointer. Why? They disappoint you on both levels. Firstly, the content is very basic, and they're reading their PowerPoints, and they're so monotonous, and they are not interesting at all. At least the entertainer, not bad lah. At least you get entertained. Because that also don't have. And you're sitting there like, oh my, your head is in your arm, your hands like that. I always say this, if you disappoint, ladies and gentlemen, your audience, you will disappear from the scene. So you're going to disappoint and disappear, or what? So that leaves us at number 2. What do you think number 2 could mean? That means the content is amazing and the delivery is also great. I call these people the engager. Can I say something? Someone in my class said, before I showed it, someone said, that's called Jaya. I said, really? He said, I'm not talking about you. I said, just engage your audience. Oh. Okay, so okay. Okay. But that's the engager. You know who's an engager, right? Someone who's able to give you content. See, what I mean by content is content that cannot be found ordinarily out there. That's what I mean by good content. Remember this, huh? But you might say, but Jay, every content is available out there. I say, yes, it is. But you take that content and then you think about it, and then you come up with your own perspectives, your own angles, you put in your own stories, your own experiences, and that content becomes personal. Does it make sense? Of course, all the content is out there. Yeah. You talk about any topic. Hello. E-invoicing, I can find now. What? Microsoft, hey, hello. I open the internet, I can find everything. But you say, yes, but you don't get my angle to it. Now you mean? You do your research and then think about it. You put in the humor, put in everything that makes it great. And then you deliver it like not too much of entertainment, put in the right amount of humor, right amount of stories, have your vocal variety, use your body language, everything in the right proportion. People walk out saying, this is the best. If you can do that, ladies and gentlemen, you are an engager. Just like walking into a restaurant where the food is amazing and the service is not overly trying to, oh yes sir, please sir, not a kind of fake kind of service, but this kind of professional service that you expect. You say, this is what I want. Can you see that? Does it make sense? Now I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, where do you want to be? Use the chat to put in the number of which quadrant you want to be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, right. Oh, very interesting. That day, one lady who put in number 4. I said, really? So yeah. I said, you should join the circus. She said, no lah, entertain people good. I said, yeah, it is good. But if you just entertain, are you really adding value to people's life or not? People want to entertain, they go for movies. What for you come to you? Correct or not? Yeah. So, but most of the time, you want really? Oh. Chiong, we have the solution for you, don't worry. Since now you're here, I'm sure you're getting some pointers, Chiong, to help you to move into 2. Are you getting something from observing the way I train? Right? Yeah. Sometimes you learn from others, not by what they teach, sometimes just by observation. I have observed some great trainers in this world, and I've picked so many things from them, and which has helped me to improve the way I train. I was not born this way, definitely. I used to be so shy. I was an introvert. I would never raise my hands in class. I think many of you may know my story, which that's the way I was. How come I can become the way I am today? It came because of learning, continuous learning. Next one. Now I come to my signature. This is one of my signature programs. I mean, it's on a signature frameworks, not programs, a framework, which is called the ARC model. ARC. What is ARC? Okay, I'll share with you all a quick video here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And when I share this with you, you will be able to know what I mean by the ARC model. Let me see how to share sound. Just give me a second. Okay, I got to share sound already. I'm going to go into the video. Give me a second. I want to open my my YouTube channel. Okay. Right. Okay. Can you all see my video? Your job as a trainer. Can you all see my video?
Yes, yes,
Can. Is the sound working?
yes.
Can. Okay, right. You might recognize this guy or may not, but anyway, somebody I know. Is not to provide information, but to provide transformation in your audience. But how do you do that? There are three distinct steps to do that. Hi, my name is Jaya, and I've been a trainer for 27 years. Let me share with you those three steps. Step one is comprehension. Step two is retention. And step three is application. By comprehension, I mean understanding. You got to make sure that your audience understands what you're teaching them. That means you take something complicated, you simplify it, and you break it down to its components. And you make your audience to get it clear. Now, a lot of times we just stop at that level and think our job as a trainer is done. If they don't remember, which is the next step of retention, then you have not done justice to them. How do you go about doing retention is you keep on repeating, not repeating like a parrot though, reinforcing what you have just taught them. You check their understanding and then you check whether they remember it and you keep on drilling. And do you know how many times you have to repeat something before it goes to the long-term memory of your audience? 6 times. The same point reiterated. And the third step is application. We cannot influence that, you think. Actually, you can. You know how? You inspire them. You inspire them with your stories, with the possibilities, what they can actually achieve. What is the results that they can expect if they would apply what you give them? Or you give them practical reasons and examples, and also share a bit of your hard times, your difficult moments that you had, your real life stories that will move them to act. And if you do all these 3 steps, you will be on your way. And you know what? If you look at this triangle I have for you, it is this ARC, which is application, retention, and comprehension. But of course, you do it the other way around, from the bottom of the pyramid up to the top. So if you were to remember this, that make sure that they understand, first of all, what you're teaching them, and then you keep on repeating and make sure that they remember and what you have actually taught them, and you inspire them to act and apply what you have taught them. I can guarantee you that the results will be much better and you'll be responsible for the transformation that they see in themselves. Okay, I just let the cat out of the bag. So you know what the ARC model stands for, Ryan? So who can tell me what the ARC model is all about? See, testing time. Ingat tak?
Application, retention, comprehension.
The first one is?
Application, retention, and comprehension.
Yeah, so comprehension first, and then you have, sorry, comprehension. Right? Okay, first comprehension. But let's look at comprehension. I want to give you guys a quick example of how to make somebody to understand. Is it easy for us to help someone to understand what you are teaching them? Is it easy or difficult?
Kaya.
Tell me, give me your views. Is it easy or difficult? Let me ask some trainers here. Chris, can you share with us? Is it easy to make your audience understand what you're teaching so that they get a clear understanding of what you're teaching?
Wait.
Chris, can you hear me? Oh, he's not here. Yeah, then I use someone else then who. Kanimoli, do you find it easy helping
Yeah.
someone to
Yeah, I find it easy because if I don't make it easy for them, then I would have failed as a lecturer.
Yeah, but you make it easy for them. That's the point, isn't it?
Yes,
But you can also make it complicated, yes?
true.
Have anybody here sat in a workshop or a training where you had no idea what the person was talking about, or you walk out more confused than when you went in? Anybody here can relate to that? Michael, you can, okay. May not be the whole workshop, but there's some points where you're like, what's that about? I don't get it. And the trainer doesn't even help you to understand it and just move on, and you like, oh. And you know what happens? After that, you stop paying attention. Can this happen? Can this happen? When you irritate people, I tell you, you're going to lose them. Kamala, you have your hands up. You had this experience before. You want to share?
Yeah, I mean, many times I think, especially I had that experience in corporate world when we have consultants over and they try to sound very intelligent by using jargons and overcomplicated stuff. And I just lose them.
Someone is not muted. Huh?
I'll check it out, Jay.
I hope I can mute all of them.
Don't mute. I'll take care of it, Jay. I'll get them.
Okay, thank you. Right. Can please, all of you, can you mute yourselves unless you're saying something? Okay, let me share with you what I mean by comprehension. This is a test for you people. Remember I said, I got to challenge people, so I'm going to challenge you now. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. Just look at this. This is a new way of writing numbers. Okay, now take a piece of paper and pen, and then I want you to reproduce that. As many as you can recall. Oh, you didn't expect me to test you, huh? All right, try. What the heck? Those who came for my class, you probably know this. But never mind. You still might have forgotten. So you ready to check your answers? Calvin can check already. Did you try? Okay. Jayashree, Sudha, done already. How about Swang Swan? Okay. We'll check your answers now. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. No need to show. Just tell how many correct. I can't see because using virtual background, right? Can't see. How many you got? Just how many you got correct? Just put in the chat so I can see how many you got right.
7, 8.
1. Okay. 4, 3, 3, 6, 1, 8. Wow, not bad. You got 4. Someone got 8. Now let me give you something which is going to make a lot of sense to you now. If you look at this, do you know this is something that you look at every half an hour or so, or sometimes even more frequently, which is your phone's dial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, do you see a correlation between this and this? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see a correlation? Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that? Huh? It's just your dial. Now, why don't you try this again? Try this exercise one more time and see how many of you get more correct this time, or if possible, all correct.
Cannot see, sir.
Now you cannot see. I've already shown you already just now. Now try.
Can't remember.
If I show you, then is this a test, lah? You know, Sivagami. Or someone already giving me that they say 10 correct. Oh, haven't done, already say 10. Wow. How sure are you, Kamala? I like your confidence, though. You may be not right, you know. So tell me what's the difference? Cannot get it, huh? Okay, sometimes, see, I remember this, huh? Even after explaining, some people may not get it. So you sometimes have to go back and explain again. So for, who's that who said, Afa, huh? You look at this is how your phone dial, whether it's this phone, your phone, not my phone, all your phones, the dial is like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 4, this is a 5. Can you see that? Can you see the pattern? Can you see the pattern? Only for 10, you got to remember it's an X. That's all. Now, if I close this, I'm sure you get all 10 correct. Am I right in saying so? See, what I have done here is I've taken something that seems to be complicated, seems to not make sense, and I give you the whole picture and let you see that, oh, now I get it. I can do it now. Does it make sense? Yes. So we help people to see, when you train, this is what we have to do. You have to help people to get a clear understanding, because for you, you know, for me, I don't look at the dial, I can still do it because I'm familiar with it. But you may not be familiar. But when I help you to get a clear understanding of what it is, then it becomes easy for you to do. So that was comprehension. Second thing is retention. You know, my forte, as I mentioned to you all, is memory, right? It's also my pet subject. I have been speaking on memory for the longest time. But do you think you can help your audience to remember what you teach them? Cannot. Or is it too bad, you got a bad memory, or I cannot help you, lah. You know what? You can make a difference. Who wants to tell me, put in the chat, what you can do to make sure your audience remembers what you teach them? Or at least you do something to help them to remember. What can you do? Okay, repetition. Talking about repetition, do you know how to repeat or not? Just now in the video, I shared with you all repetition 6 times. But some people don't know what I mean by 6 times. Do you mean I say the point 6 times again and again? No, don't do that. People think you're mad. You know how to repeat? I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm asking you questions. What is an important characteristic of a leader? And let's say you say a good listener. Let's say I'm not an expert in leadership, my friend is, but I believe he will probably say, yeah, that's one of the characteristics of a great trainer. Great leader is being a good listener. So rather than saying, ladies and gentlemen, a good listener is a great leader. Remember this, huh? A great leader needs to be a good listener. That's not the way to repeat. People say, yeah, give me a break. You ask the people, ladies and gentlemen, do you think a trait of a good leader is to be also a great listener? How many of you agree with that? See, that I already mentioned once. Then I asked Chok, why do you think good listening skills are important for a leader? You see, I'm repeating again. Can you see that? Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you agree with Chok that a good listener is a great leader as well? See, I'm repeating for the 3rd time. You get what I'm saying? I'm reinforcing the point. And before moving to the next chapter or the next section of my training, I reiterate the points that are covered in this segment. Maybe it's half an hour I've trained, I come back and I cover. You don't say, I wait for the whole day and then I summarize. Too late, lah, hello. So you summarize at every junction. Every segment, you summarize the key points. Don't give you everything. The key points, move on to the next, summarize again. And that's how you make it. You got it? Having said that, let me give you some other ways to help people to retain as well. These are ways I do it. Number one, telling compelling stories. Because if you have a story, people remember the story, and what happens? The story will remind people about what the point is. Make sense? Of course, relevant story, don't go and tell some Aladdin and the Magic Lamp story for when you're training. Please don't do that. Next point. Next point is frameworks. What is a framework? I've already shared with you a framework now. And I'm sharing a framework with you now, which is the ARC model, ARC. That's a framework. And I created that framework. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you can create frameworks like this. Let me share with you what I mean. Share in a while. Okay, spaced repetitions, engaging activities, giving them some games, summarizing, asking them questions, and testing. So how do you enhance their retention? By framework. What I mean by framework. Have you come across this in marketing? People say the 4 Ps. What's a 4P? Who can tell us about 4P? Ps. First P is? Don't know. Product.
Price. Place.
And
Promotion.
Okay. So the 4 Ps. Are you a marketing person? Are you in the marketing department? Even if you're not, I think you know what the 4 Ps mean. Ask my good friend Kelvin here. He's not a marketing trainer. Kelvin, did you know the 4 Ps in marketing, what they stand for?
Yeah.
Before, yeah, you know this. Why? This is very common. This is very common knowledge. But somebody somewhere, I don't know who the fella is, came out with the 4 Ps. Yes or no? It didn't fall from the sky, right? Somebody had to think about it and say, make it easy for us to remember. So just like that, I give you one more. People talk about goal setting. Have you heard of the SMART goal? Who knows what's the SMART goal? S stands for what? S stands for what? Specific. M stands for? Measurable. A stands for?
Achievable.
Achievable. R is? Relevant. T is? Time bound. See, many people know this. Somewhere, some joker came out with this set a smart goal. Otherwise, your goal is a stupid goal. Then we all remember this. Yes? So my point is, these are my frameworks. When I teach sales, I have a needs framework. I have no time to go into this. Just tell you that each of these alphabet represents something. When I teach memory, I have an IDAM framework. For my training, which I'm doing for you people, I have the 3D framework. Remember, discover, design, and deliver. Discover your best niche, design an awesome program, and deliver like a professional. Can you see this? The 3D approach. I have a FROL formula, which is first, review, outstanding, link, and last. Of course, in this program, I'm not going to cover everything. I don't have time for this. Those who joined my TTT, you probably remember I had covered all this. But one thing I want to share with you is that Michael and I, we are putting together a program which we are going to go deep into all these things, like my FROL formula and all these formulas. I'm going to go really, really deep. I'll share with you tomorrow. But just remember that you can come up with your own framework. Whatever you're teaching, you can have frameworks. ARC formula, what I'm sharing now, remember, what is that? Comprehension, retention, and application. I have a 5 Fs. Why I put 4 here? I have a 5F formula when I talk about goals people set for their lives. Okay. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the 7 C's of storytelling. I just want to tell you that these are formulas that are put together, which is called frameworks. But be careful when you create framework, because there was one guy, one American speaker I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I think it's true. He was giving a talk to a company, and all the top people were there, about, I don't know, a couple of hundred people. And he was trying to be cute. He said, ladies and gentlemen, your company is committed to your progress. So he put a C there. Okay. They are responsible citizen of the country. So the R for responsible. And they are also accountable for what they do, A. And P, because they are very positive. So it is CRAP, which stands for crap. I ask you, do you think the CEO is very happy with that? Definitely not. So of course, don't make such silly mistakes. But come out your own frameworks. You know what will happen? People will remember it much easier. So frameworks, spaced repetitions, engaging activities, summaries, questions, and testing. These are some of the ways you can do this. And finally, it is called application. Ladies and gentlemen, at which point of this triangle or these three parts do you think the transformation happens in your audience? Is it a comprehension level, retention level, or application level? All of you are right. It is at the application. But can you influence the application? Can you? Can you go and sit down in their house and make sure they apply what you taught them? Or go to the office and see, hey, hello, Kamala, I taught you this. Are you doing it? No, you and I know that you can't do that, right? But through your inspiring message, through your stories, and through showing them the possibilities of how they can change their lives, you know what? Give them the confidence to do it. Chances are higher they will do it. So this is called the ARC model. A lot of times, trainers stop at this level here. All right, you understood my content, huh? Okay, good, I've done my job. Can, but you're not a great trainer. You are just an average trainer. Got it? I want to ask my good friend to share some points from what I've just shared here. Michael,
Yes, sir.
what's your take on the ARC model?
I think the ARC model is very, very good. And one of them that I use that you did not mention is, and this has only been in the last maybe 10 years that I've been using this, is that I find very, very compelling pictures. As an example, when we're talking about, you mentioned leaders need to be good listeners. I put up a picture with no words. It is a brick wall, and two statues are leaning against a brick wall trying to listen. And what the point here is that my students often later on will tell me, oh, hey, I remember that brick wall, you know, when most people will not listen to you. When we are talking to them, they put up a brick wall and they won't listen. And that's the speaker's responsibility, not the receiver's responsibility. So one of the things that I'm trying to teach them is that all communications, the reception of it and the understanding of it is based on the speaker's responsibility, not on the listener's responsibility, on the speaker's responsibility. You are responsible for their listening. So if you do it correctly, you can become a very good speaker and a very good listener. But you have to have something memorable. And with today, what you're going to be on now with AI and all the other things, you know, I wanted to come up with a speech about talking about don't let little things bother you. And one of the things I used to tell them in class, you know, don't step on a pebble and let that pebble ruin your walking. Well, I said to myself, how can I make this memorable? How can I came up with a giant pickle in a pitcher, filled almost the whole bottom half of a pitcher, and a person's foot walking on that pickle. When I talk to people about don't let little pebbles stop you from walking where you want to walk. In other words, don't let little issues get in your way so you don't achieve the big mission. Sometimes now they're saying, Michael, I remember that pickle pitcher. So with today's technology, not only what Jay's been talking about, you can add things by using AI and other pictures. And believe me, if you haven't tried AI pictures, I highly recommend it. You put in the correct prompt and it will make a picture of almost anything you wanted. I asked for a foot stepping on a large pickle in the desert. And that's exactly what it gave me, and the students remember that. And they still talk about the pickle.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely. Can you see that? See, there's no one right way of doing anything. But I want to just reiterate what Michael just said, because he said it's your responsibility to make them listen. And I always say this in another way, but pretty much what Michael has also mentioned to you all. I say that the quality of your communication is the quality of the response you get. Would you agree with that?
Right.
So that is what determines the quality of your communication. And always write this down. If you have not written it down, I think I mentioned this, never be careless in your communication. And this is a cardinal rule for trainers. Never be careless in your communication. And sometimes we tend to be careless. We sometimes be careless in our body language, in our tone, in the way we deliver, the way we connect with people, our eyes, the way we look at our audience. Are you looking at your audience? Sometimes we take our eyes off the audience without realizing that we are breaking connection with them. So never be careless. Always be conscious every time you communicate. Now, I want to quickly share with you all a little bit about emotions and learning. I think we did touch on this yesterday, that we are all emotional creatures. And if you have the right emotions, then you can connect with the people. If you have the wrong emotions or you rub them the wrong way, people are going to tune out from what you're teaching them. So this is one phrase I came up with, which is like, if you want to move them physically, you have to move them emotionally first. Does it make sense to you? How many of you find this making sense? Kanimali, you know what I'm saying, right? Is it making sense to you?
Yes, definitely.
If you don't touch them physically, don't touch them emotionally, you won't be able to move them physically. Because where is the results going to change? Where's the transformation going to happen? Only when they change their physical activities, yes. But if you do not touch the emotions, you can kiss your training goodbye. People are not going to change. So audience emotions. Let's hear from you guys. What kind of emotions can your audience go through at any point of it? What kind of emotions could there be? Let's use the chat to say, what kind of emotions could people go through? Confused. Okay, Kamala, I like that. Confused. What else? Anxious. Okay. Curious. I like that. Excited. Well, these are the good ones, right? Nervous. Bored. Okay. Reject the new information. Yeah, that is the result of crying. Okay, Michael. Crying. That's extreme. Happy. Suspense. Droning. Disappointed. Shocked. Afa. Do you shock your audience? Okay. Not shock in the Malaysian shock, huh? Not the shock, right? This is shock. Kelvin, maybe your audience is shocked one, huh? Not the shock. Shock. Ignore, okay. Confused. Relief. Curious. Relief, why? Huh? That your program is over, is it? Oh, it's such a relief.
Relief meaning that they like, oh, they're so scared, but oh, not only my problem.
Oh, okay. But I hope it's not a, oh my God, thank God it's over. Not that kind of relief, lah. Inspired. Okay. Right. Resentful. Liana said resentful. Okay, I can also understand sometimes. Okay, let's look at the whole range of, you have mentioned some very great emotions, but let's look at some of the emotions that possibly people can go through. Can you see some of these you already mentioned? Some you didn't mention, but can people feel frustrated? Possible or not? Terkena hidung, apa tu? Most trainers do that, I think. I don't get you. Intrigue, okay. Stress. Sometimes they feel disengaged. Sometimes they feel neutral. They feel irritated. Sometimes they can feel interested. Sometimes you feel determined. Wow, I'm going to change my life. They feel, now when can someone feel overwhelmed? when can somebody in the audience feel overwhelmed? When there is what? Exactly, Calvin. Information overload, too much information. Exactly. You guys got it. When can you make your audience nervous? Huh? When they're lost, okay. When it's complicated, okay. During a test, yes. Ask them to present. Yes, absolutely. When they say, oh, a lot of times. Okay. Well, when can you make them let's look at what is it? When can you make them curious? Can we make them curious?
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, when you say, I want to tell you something, but I want you to think, what do you think is the next thing I'm going to share? You like what Michael said, you show a picture on your slide and you say, this is a story that I'm going to tell you, but it's based on the story here. I mean, this picture here. And people think like, what's that? What's that? We get them to have, like as Kamala said, when suspense is there, you make them curious. You challenge them. Okay. But the point is that I'm sure you want your audience to be excited, don't you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? So how do you make them excited? Because if you're excited, your audience can be excited. If you are excited, the audience can be excited. It's because you know what? The thing is, our emotions are always contagious. If you are coming like half dead and you're feeling unmotivated, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how to become a millionaire. You want to become a millionaire or not? If you talk like this, that's the end of it. So sometimes we just say, I want to show my PowerPoint and tell them everything. You're going to be boring them to death. So I'm going to share with you how to start. Someone said just now, your starting is very important. Kelvin said something here. My student will call me crazy if I'm hype motivated. Yeah, I don't mean you got to come and jump up and down like Anthony Robbins lah, Mike Kelvin. Lah. But you cannot come in half dead also. Some people come and say, okay, today I'm going to talk about Microsoft. Microsoft, you know or not? Don't know. Habis lah, right? So be energetic, have energy in your voice. People love that. Yeah. After lunch, have more energetic. Yes, Kamala, you know that, right? A strong start is crucial. Would you agree with that? Why do you think you have to start right? Who can tell me why? What if you start wrong? Okay, start right and start wrong also. Yeah. What happens if you start wrongly? Start left. You will be left.
Yes. You lose the audience.
Yeah. There's only one chance to make a first impression. Absolutely. So the opening of your session should be something that excites them, makes them feel like, wow, I want more. I want to. How do you do that? So I'm going to show you how to open with a bang. You know how to open with a bang? Very, very quickly, I want to ask you this. Anybody watched James Bond movies before? James Bond movie, anybody? You watch, okay. Which is the actor you remember in the James Bond role? The 006, right?
Yeah.
006? Not
His memory's bad.
Double-
His
double
memory's bad. No,
Oh,
his memory's bad.
oh, thanks. Thanks, Kunta. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I remember. 007. So Sean Connery. Leona, you remember Sean Connery? Dashadnya. Okay. 019. Hey, hello, Leona. That's my handphone's first 3 digits. Michael Yeoh was not James Bond. Okay. She was acting as one of the what do you call Bond girls. Okay. Regardless, some of you, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig, right? or Sean Connery, regardless of whoever plays the role, there's one thing you must remember in every James Bond movie: within the first 5 minutes, sometimes less than 5 minutes, there'll be some kind of fast-paced action. That means they always start with a bang. Why do you think James Bond movies are made that way? Why do you think so? Because, you know why? You know why? They want to capture your attention from the start. Absolutely. Yeah, so that you're glued to the seat. Yes, Calvin. So what if you can do that as a trainer from the start? And that's what this opening is going to be about. So the first thing, very quickly, I'm going to run through this. Time is short now. The first thing to do is ask an enrolling question. So the enrolling question is the hook, as M.N. Ikram said. You hook them with a question, meaning give them a benefit that they will gain, or the best thing that can happen to them when they apply what they learn from you. Are you with me? So if I'm teaching financial literacy, I don't come and say, raise your hands if you'd like to understand how to manage your money. That is not good. You know what is it? What's better? I said, raise your hand if you like to become a millionaire in the next 5 years. And you know, as I say, raise your hand, I also raise my hand. So people say, why don't I just say, do you all want to become a millionaire in the next 5 years? Well, okay. But you can't see their response, isn't it? Am I right? Can you read their minds? This fellow say yes, that fellow say no, this fellow say maybe, you know. But when they raise their hand and when you say it with a little bit of enthusiasm, you can actually get them to respond as well. So we say, raise your hands, you're going to become a millionaire in the next 5 years. People raise their hands. And that is the enrolling question. So in your topic, for your topic, you've got to ask yourself what enrolling question you want to ask. So I'll pick somebody here, like Kani. Kani is teaching diet, isn't it? How
Yeah.
to eat properly. But what is the end result of having a good diet or good nutrition? What's the end result?
Health.
It's very general. Can you be a bit more precise? Okay, can I say, raise your hands if you like to eat right and have a healthy lifestyle. Can I say that? Now, is that enrolling enough? Is that captivating enough? But you see, remember this, coming up with an enrolling question is not very easy. You have to work on it. You see, if you remember yesterday, I started off with, raise your hands if you'd like to become an awesome trainer. And I see all your hands were up. Why? I know you are going to say yes. Don't ask a negative question. Raise your hands if you don't want to become a terrible trainer. That's not a good question. It must always be positive. It must be high in energy. It must be something that people will say yes to. Got it? Or raise your hands if you want to live to 1,000 years or 100 years old. Okay, can as well. Kani, you got that? Huh? Maybe you want to use this. No lah. Up to you. But you have to come up with your own enrolling question. Second one is a quick win. The quick win means, what have you done in the past that makes you the winner for this topic? You remember what I said yesterday? Remember what I said? I said what? I have trained more than 2,000 trainers just in my TTT, and more about 200 non-TTT, like what I'm doing with you guys here, and to help them to become great trainers. So that makes me qualified to teach you. Got it? So it makes you say, well, okay lah, this guy, okay lah, he knows what he's talking about. Got it? So that's a quick win. This is not what you boast about yourself. I'll tell you later, just very quickly. It's one sentence only. Then greet, welcome, and thank. If you remember yesterday, those who came yesterday, I said, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the session, and thank you for coming. I appreciate your time. I really value your time, and thank you for being here. You got it? Why do we do this? Because you as a trainer are the host, and the audience are your guests.
Yes.
So you welcome them, you greet them. You don't do some crazy people, trainers do this. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everybody. Hello. Anybody home? I didn't hear you. Can we do this one more time? Louder, louder. Okay, you all had your breakfast or not? Hey, hello, hello. Don't do this. Sickening. The minute I see the trainer does that, I feel like walking out. Or take a tomato and throw a rotten egg throw in his face. You know what? Adults, hello. Treat them with some respect. You see, it's like, you go to a hotel, let's say, Sivagami, you go to a hotel to check in. Do you say good morning to the receptionist, or you expect the receptionist to say good morning to you?
I say first.
Oh, really?
I greet them first.
So you go to Hilton and they say, good morning. Is this Hilton? No lah, no, they will say good morning first, right? Say, good morning, miss. You see, most guests won't say good morning, okay? If you say good morning, fine. But the point is that, do you think the receptionist is expecting you to say good morning to her?
No.
But you expect her to say good morning to you, yes or not?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because she
Because,
is the host, you are the guest.
Yes.
So the host is supposed to welcome the guest, not the other way around. Right? So you say, good morning, miss. Welcome to Hilton. Do you have a reservation? Thank you for choosing Hilton. Correct? So you are the host, so you behave that way. If they don't say, hey, I just say good morning, you didn't say, don't ever do that. Do you think the receptionist will say, hello, Miss Sivagami, is it? I said good morning, you never greet me back. Wow, so rude are you? They won't say that. If they did that, you never go to the hotel anymore, right? Number 4 is your name. People always ask me, Jay, why not put this in front? Put it number 1. I say, hello. Unless you are a very famous person like Jack Ma's sister, you know Jack Ma from China, Alibaba. His sister resides in Malaysia. Same surname, only thing front has got a flower name, I can't remember. I don't know, if Jasmine or Hibiscus Ma, something like that. Oh wait, I think it's Rose. Rose Ma. Something like that. I mean, you're such famous people, then okay lah. You got to mention your name. But yeah, I'm not so famous, so I put my name number 4 lah. You got it. You know the person I'm talking about. I don't know. Okay, never mind. Forget it. Okay. Finally, 5th stage, or the 5th step 5 is your credentials. But please don't boast about yourself. This is not license for you to boast. Last time my SPM, I got 3 A's, 2 B's, and failed 5 subjects. Hey, hello. People don't need to hear all those things. No need. Just 3 credentials. Not 5, not 10, not 1, 3. And when you say this, you must be humble. You say, let's say Kelvin, he says, I'm so privileged to have taught Microsoft for the last 25 years. Michael, can you mute that person?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay. You get it? I'm so
Yeah.
privileged to have been, I'm so honored to have been teaching Microsoft for the last 25 years. Rather than say, hello guys, Kelvin, 25 years experience. Not that way. Don't sound arrogant. Then you can also share relevant things. Don't get and talk about other things. Say my grandmother came from China in a Tongkang and landed in Kota Baru, and then cycle all the way to Kuala Lumpur. Hey, hello, not necessary. So what I mean is, give people relevant credentials, things that make you the right person to speak on the subject. So these are things that I want to share with you, and how to open with a bank. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I have come to the end of my session for today. I want to hand over to my friend to share something on what he wants to share about. Anything that you want to share, add on to how we can start with a bang.
Yeah, I like the intriguing question motion. That's what I use most of the time. I ask them a question that they're gonna have to think about. They have to use their brain, they're gonna have to think about it, and then they're gonna want to raise their hand with the answer. So I think to me, that works for me. I think each person on the screen has to find out what is going to work for you, and the only way you're gonna do is try it. Talk to your spouse, talk to your friends, talk to colleagues at work, talk to another trainer and say, I'm thinking about using this for an opening, and just smack it. Just give it to them, throw it out there. See what their response is. Is the response positive? Did they raise their hand? Did they support it? Or did they say, I'm not sure you might want to, so you try something different. Practice, practice, practice. That's the only way you're going to know is if your opening is going to really smack them and really draw their attention, is you do that practice. And you do it with the people on the screen you see here and your friends and colleagues. Try it on Jay and I. We'll be happy to listen to you. So that's what I would suggest.
Thank you, Michael. Mina, you asked a question. Can I give you an example of an enrolling question? Where are you? I don't see you. You're not on this first page. Okay, never mind. Can you give us what topic you speak on?
Mostly healthcare related.
Okay, can you be more specific? Because health is such a big topic.
Well, I'm a physiotherapist, so I talk about ergonomics, for example, or I talk about
you.
mostly about mom and baby. So I also have a number of training about that.
Right. Okay, let's stick to ergonomics. Why would anybody come and learn ergonomics from you? How is it going to help them in their life? Mina, I'm asking you, can you hear me?
Yeah. How they can manage their work well, or yes, posture, how they can reduce pain for themselves.
Okay. So isn't that a benefit?
Yes.
So the benefit is they can have, yes, Michael.
Yeah. How would you like to never have a back pain in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a good enrolling question, Mina?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is an example of, but this one, you remember, you can write out your enrolling question and refine it until you feel this is the best. It will take some time for you to refine it, but it's okay. It's worthwhile because this is the question that we're going to hook them. Sumitra, you have your hand up. You want to ask me something?
Amir's got his hand. Amir has his hand up.
Yes, Amir, you want to ask something?
Hi, Mr. Jaya.
Sir,
Yes, Sumi. Amir, hang on. Yes, Sumi.
Hi, Mr.
um,
Jaya. Yeah. Oh, Amir is talking. Amir, you
oh,
speak first.
okay. Thank you. Mr. I 26 years old. This year. If I want to, what your advice for young trainer as me, 26, and also when 24 I TTT SDF, 26 this year I train provider. What extra advice for young trainer like me?
Well,
Jay.
did you join yesterday and today? Did you join?
Yes,
Have you joined this class yesterday and today, Amir?
yes, sir.
Okay, we have been talking so much. What particular advice, I cannot give you in one sentence advice for somebody who's 26 years old, regardless of your age. You can ask me something specific. I cannot like tell you, okay, this is an advice for you. But
Jay.
maybe Michael might have something to share with you.
Yeah,
For me,
Jay, I'm gonna give him the advice that I got many years ago. Amir, what you need to do is find an experienced trainer, somebody on this screen or somebody you know who's a good and accomplished speaker as a trainer. Go put your finger in their belt loop and don't let go. Follow them, track them, train with them, watch what they do, watch how they open, watch how they close, watch how they engage their audience, watch how they deliver. You're at the beginning stages. You can learn an awful lot. but you're going to need to grab hold of somebody's belt buckle and not let go. Try that for a while and see what happens. I think you're going to be surprised.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but yes, definitely, absolutely what Michael has said. But follow us. Yesterday and today and tomorrow. Hopefully, you can pick up some pointers, and yeah, as Michael said, follow somebody because they have done it. Rather than making all the mistakes, you can learn from them. Yes, Sumi, you want to ask me something?
Hi, Mr. Jaya. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is regarding the opening question, open with a bang. This is regarding the quick win.
Hmm.
So you mentioned that sometimes when we talk about quick wins, we talk about how many years you have been training and your experience and all that. What about new trainers, Mr. Jaya? Let's say they're just coming into the market and they're being a new trainer. So how do we get the quick win done?
A quick win can be a result that you or someone else has achieved because of you. It could even be your own experience. You can say, you know what? I have used this in my life and it has really transformed the results that I've gotten in my life. That's already good enough. Does it make sense?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michael has something to say.
Yeah, I would add to that. If you're going to be giving training, we're going to be talking tomorrow about telling stories, storytelling, and so forth. Pick a story that you're going to be using later on and only give them a snippet. And you might say that 4 years ago, I was challenged to the point that I almost died. I overcame, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so, and then let's go on with that part of your opening. Then move on. Eventually, you're going to tell them that story. They're going to actually be waiting for you to come up with that story. They want to hear how you almost died. They want to hear what happened. They want to hear you can entice them. So if you don't have a long history as a trainer, but you do have a story in your training package, pick a compelling piece of it, put that at the beginning, draw them in, and they're going to want to wait to hear the rest of the story.
Yeah. So as Michael said, make it brief though. Don't tell
Right,
a
brief.
story at this point. Yeah,
Very small.
very simple, very short. Yes, Kumta, you have something to ask me? This is the last question because we have to close already. Yeah, Kumta, you have a question.
Yes, sir. This is about the third point, great welcome and the thank you for coming point. So my training is basically the people surrounds me every day. They sees me like my training mostly the Kaizen that I'm doing is for 2 hours only. So when I'm facing the people that I'm seeing every day, how I can make it give a impactful greet or welcomes them, sir. So it's like they already know me, I already know you. Since morning, we are telling good morning, good morning, good morning. And then suddenly I want to greet them for coming for training. I feel it is a bit odd. So maybe you can advise me on that, sir.
So if you already greeted them good morning before they came into the training, they don't need to greet again. But you can say thank you for joining my session today.
All right. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining. Welcome.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome and thank you very much for joining and I appreciate your presence. It's very professional. Got it?
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your advice.
Right. Thank you guys for having joined us today here. And I hope you have taken something back from today. I want to just share that if anybody here going for accreditation who has not done the accreditation yet, anybody here? All right. If you haven't done the accreditation, you can reach out to me. I have something I can do to help you guys to get the accreditation. And if in case you don't have my number, you have my number, right? All of you. I'm going to give you my number one more time. Just reach out to me and I'll show you, I'll give you some guidelines on how to get, yeah, that's my number there, accredited. Because I know many of you, some of you could be struggling with accreditation. There's a problem that a lot of them come to me and say, right. So with this, I'd like to say that we will meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting session because Michael and I are going to be sharing with you the finer points of telling stories, and how you as a trainer can wow your audience and make a huge impact on them. Stories are one of, it's not the only, but one of the major ways in which you can have, you leave your audience wanting more. So with that, anything anyone wants to say about the whole session? If not, jumpa lagi besok. Okay, guys? See you.
Good night,
Michael.
everybody. Good night, everybody. Good seeing you all. We'll see you all tomorrow.
See you guys.
Come back with a smiling face and an open mind. Well, let's see. Let's say an open face and a smiling. Don't get them
One of
mixed up.
those.
Don't
Let
get them
it
mixed
get
up.
out, Michael.
Don't get them mixed up. Just say
All
good
right.
night, Mike. Say good night, Michael. Okay, good night, Michael.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.